Everything has a cost. Life has a cost. There's an opportunity cost when you spend money. There's an opportunity cost when you don't do something. You got to constantly decide, and that's what makes separates the greats from the average. The greats are able to understand and decide which ones they need to focus on. Woo! I'm fired up. I got a question for y'all. I'm coming. Team, how y'all feel?
Fired up.
Yes. And what's up?
My income.
My income. And we can't do it without who gets a green sheet?
Everybody.
Everybody get a green sheet. Everybody get a green sheet, y'all. And so, y'all, I'm a freestyle today. I'm coming to y'all today with a little bit of freestyle. Is that okay? But then I said, you know what? I'm not going freestyle because I got something I want to share with y'all. We've been talking about this recruiting. So recruiting, this got to last us through the rest of the week. The effects, this is my ending. The effects of not recruiting. See, we talked about what happens if you do it, but what's the cost when you don't do it?
Business stalls.
Oh, yeah. Somebody, y'all put in the chat, what's some of the cost of not recruiting? I got my notes. I want to see some of y'all notes. Type in the chat, and Jock, if you can read out some of the things. What's the cost of not recruiting? What's the cost to your business of not recruiting? Somebody put OMG.
Flatline, business growth, business stalls. Come on, y'all. Where you on that? No growth, no higher income.
That's what I always say, no growth.
Come on, no growth.
And Yadira said it too, no income. So growth seems to be the word. Excitement and energy drops.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Burnout.
Ooh.
Lose confidence.
Ooh, y'all hitting it.
Your spouse or significant other leaves you.
Chuck, where you reading from?
My brain is.
Ooh, oh my goodness. But yeah, so in my notes, I get increased workload. When you don't recruit, you now the workload is on you. Your workload increases. And a lot of us get in this type of business. Here's the thing. What starts most entrepreneurs down the journey? When they go from employee to entrepreneur. Now, I'm taking the typical transition. Some of y'all ain't never had a job, right? Some people's like, man, I never had a job a day in my life. I get it. But barring that person, the ones who did have a career, what makes them change? They're like, you know what? I'm doing all this work for somebody else. I can do it for me. That's typically the number one reason. Something happens. Something sparks them. There was some shift. I still remember the date of my shift that made me say no. My son Isaiah was running track. I never forget this. He was running track at my old high school. The high school that Jock went to. I would have went there, but I went to St. John's in DC. But Isaiah was at High Point running track. And I had Saturday off. The track meets, for y'all know, is on Saturdays. I worked in managed car dealerships. The busiest days for the car dealerships are Saturdays, right? So I had the Saturday off, and I'm like, man, how cool is this? Son, you're running track at my school, my high school. Even though I didn't go there, but all my friends went there, so I would have went there. So you're running track at my local high school. And he's a little kid. And he turned to me and said, Dad, this is not my first year here. This is only your first year here. That you could cut me with a butter knife. I'm telling you, that thing cut me hard. And then so I'm at the track meet, and while I'm at the track meet enjoying the track, the dealership's calling me. And the owner's like, Eric, man, this, and some of the other managers complain, because at this time I'm overseeing all the managers. And he said, Eric, and some people complaining, this is going on, can you do this? I'm at the track meet still working my business. This before internet. This we had to do regular telephone, fax machine. Well, I ain't gonna say before internet, but it wasn't the internet as we know it today, right? It wasn't as 4K, 5K, and all that kind of stuff. This is still regular, just a tad bit away from dial-up, right? And so I'm like, I'm at the track meet trying to be excited. And then here they are like, Eric, you got to be here. We need your help. Can you come in? I'm like, can I come in? Like, I ain't coming in. And so at that moment, that next Monday, I turned in my resignation.
Because of that situation.
Because of that situation. And so why I say that, Jock, is most people leave their careers and start entrepreneurship because something at their job, something sparks them, something happens. And typically you're like, man, I'm putting in all these hours and they're not giving me the love back, right? I can put some of that love in for myself. Are y'all with me?
So would it be fair to say most people consider leaving kind of like when you're in an abusive relationship, you'll consider leaving, but for some crazy reason, once you leave, some people get so comfortable with being comfortable that they end up going back.
Yeah, see, they forced to go back, Jock. Why? Because they come and now you got to do it for yourself. There's no oversight, right? So there's no oversight. And now you're doing all the labor. Now you're doing all the labor, but the income doesn't guarantee it. So now you're doing the same labor, but maybe you're not getting the same money. You can come become an entrepreneur, but most people switch from employee to entrepreneur. A lot of them, if they got a professional career, they're going to take a pay cut. So they ain't taking the pay cut and you got to work your way back up. So the reason why I say that is when you don't recruit, the workload increases. But that was the main reason why most people got into business is because they had a heavy workload for somebody else. And they said, let me do this for myself. And now the workload is even more increased because then your accounts receivable, accounts payable, you got to go to the marketing department, the advertising department. You got to go do it all. You got to get the customer and service the customer. And then you got to collect the money from the customer. Whereas most of your career, all you had to do is service the customer, right? So I just had to service the customer at the dealership. I'd have to do account payable. I'd have to make no cars. I'd have to do the inventory. I'd track the inventory, but I'd have to go out and negotiate the deals with Honda. So I'd have to worry about taxes, any of those things, permits, all the stuff that business had to do to be in business. I didn't have to worry about any of it. I just had to manage and oversee the business. And at the time when you're an employee, you're thinking you're running that business. But no, there's a whole bunch that you're not responsible for. You're running the front end. You're running one part of it. But now when you become an entrepreneur, you all of it. And so the workload increases, but your income doesn't necessarily, sometimes your income decreases from what you're working your job. Now, how do you survive? That's why you recruit. I'm trying to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as you recruit other people, it's going to decrease your workload. So the cause of not recruiting is an increased workload, which is the main reason majority of people got over here because they didn't want the workload to increase. Are y'all with me? So that's one of the causes. The other cause of not recruiting, somebody said it, is burnout. Burnout and high turnover. Because you're going to burn out because now it's you. And when you don't recruit, you're going to have turnover no matter what. People are going to come and people are going to go. That's life, right? Sometimes somebody stops working the business because they just moved. They up and move. Maybe they got a new promotion with their job. Majority of people start part-time anyway, right? So most of the people you're recruiting are part-time. Now, something happens, they're going to come, so there's going to be turnover. But if you don't replace that person before they need to be replaced, you're going to burn out because now it's like, I got to do it all. The increased workload, the lower cost in the beginning. Whew. Y'all, let me tell you, here's a cycle for entrepreneurs. Most entrepreneurs. Now, there's some exceptions to the rule. Some superstars, right? People look at you and say, oh, Jock Vaughn's a superstar. First month he got in the business, he went straight up to the top, executive director. No, not the first month he got in business. He worked 6, 7 months. 7 months of working without even getting a check. See, the way the entrepreneur works is like work, get a check. Work, get a check. And if you're recruiting, it's work, get a check. Work, get a check. Get a check, get a check, work, get a check, 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 get a check. See, but people want to get a check, get a check, get a check, get a check, but they didn't want to do work. See, it's that part. It's that grind part. It's that recruiting part that allows the get a check, get a check, get a check, get a check. See, I know Jamie knows he's going to get a check every week. I know Darren knows he's going to get a check every week. I know Aurelia knows he's going to get a check every week. I know Jock knows he's going to get a check every week. But see, the people willing to put in 7 months of not getting a check. And you got to put in the work. Because see, 7 months is going to pass. I watched some of us, 7 months pass anyway. But we didn't work. We worked. What's going on? My team doing this. We work. Oh man, Eric, if you only knew experience, I don't know why the color is yellow. They should make the color orange. People like orange better than yellow. Work. Oh man, I don't know what's going on, man. This deal ain't going through. My customer, work. Oh, I got a charge back.
No, we ain't got enough information, ain't got enough training.
Yeah. All y'all rah, work. All y'all talk about is recruiting, work. Then you looked over, it's a year then passed, and yeah, you, well, where's my check? How does it, I'm telling y'all the secret. Work. Jock, one of the things I always tell you, don't look up where.
Don't look up at the school. Don't look up at the scoreboard. Keep your head down and run.
That's my favorite saying. Don't look up at the scoreboard, keep your head down and run. Everybody said the scoreboard. No, the scoreboard, if you scoring and you put in teams, you scoring points, you know, you ain't gotta look at the scoreboard. Derek, you know, you play basketball, and you know when you blowing somebody out, you know you blowing them out. You don't care about the scoreboard. You just want to know when the game's gonna be all right. You know, I didn't score 4 or 5 buckets and y'all only scored 1. I ain't gotta keep track of that. And you know what I mean? I know I'm blowing you out. And you know when you're getting blown out. Man, they come on, y'all be getting blown out. How you know? We ain't got no scoreboard. I don't need to know the score. We getting blown out. They just scored 5 in a row and we ain't hit nothing. So what do? Don't look up at the scoreboard. Just bust your butt. Work. And then you're gonna start getting a check. And you're gonna work. You're gonna get a check. Then you're gonna work, get a check. And then you're gonna work. And you're gonna work. And you get a check. Are y'all catching that?
So E, are you saying that? So you're saying if you're by yourself and you do the work, then you might complain because you did so much work by yourself, and then you still don't understand the power of recruiting, so you keep work with no check. But then if you decide to recruit and get a team, it becomes teamwork, check, teamwork, check, teamwork, check. That's what you're saying?
Yep, and after a while it goes check. And then you start saying, how come these leaders are all work hustling so much? Because they got check. But now they want check. They want the check to go up. Then they want to check, and you start working even harder, right? Because then they start realizing, I can increase the check. I don't have a limit on my checks increasing.
Because they duplicated the system.
They duplicated the system. So now they want the checks to increase. Some of y'all are trying to get the check. And when you look at some of the other leaders, they're trying to get the check increase. I was talking to Frank. Jamie said, hey, his goal is to get to $1 million. Well, man, I remember he was at 300,000 when he first started, Jock. I remember when he crossed over 400,000. Since we've been in the business. So since we've been in the business, we watched him cross over 300 to 400. How many of y'all would like to add an extra $100,000 in your bank account? Then I watched him cross from 400 to 500. So since I've been here, I watched him go from 300 to 500,000. That's $200,000 increase since I've been here. How many of y'all would like some of his 200,000? But then I watched him go from 300 to 500 to 600 to now 750. That's a $450,000 a year increase since I've been here. And now he's working. He did all the grind, but then he's grinding with his team. And then he work. But now it got to the point now that his team is so locked in that his checks is going to get a check. And it's going to be so hard for him to stop it there because his team is locked in. Are y'all with me?
And then take a look at the person that recruited him. He really doesn't have to do anything.
He's get a check. But see, they did all the work when his head was down. They was grinding when Primerica was trying to sue Experian, run him out of business. It was like, we ain't going nowhere. We don't know Jamie. We not best buddies with Jamie. We locked in. See, how many of y'all are worried about who's getting what? Think about this. Here's some guy who recruits you to a company. You've been with this other company for 20 years. Now you come over with this company, Experior, and now they're getting sued by your previous company, and they say, we're going to try to run y'all out of business, right or wrong. And I'm partnered with somebody who's not like, it's not like me and Jock, good friends. This is somebody I don't really know. This could be like me and Troy. Hey, Troy, come on, let's block. And Troy said, nah, we're going to lock arms. See, there's a reason why they get a check. See, some of us are still waiting for our check first. If you go do what you got to do, the check is going to follow, y'all. Are y'all catching that? And if you go do what Tawana just did, her meeting, boom, her virtual office, 8 people. I don't know, it might have been 5, maybe. Nah, if it's 1, I'm like, I told y'all I wouldn't get excited. But if it's 1, I'm like, yes. The biggest mistake people can make is not appreciating the one in front of you. I've seen people come to all the time. Somebody comes to me and they're like, oh, well, I'm sorry, y'all. A lot of people were supposed to be here and then there's just one person. And then you make that one person feel like, why did I even show up? Because all you talking about is the people who didn't show up. I showed. See, and you can't be the one you love. They got a song saying, do what?
Love the ones you with.
Love the ones you're with. You better love who you got. More will come, right? This is not a monogamous relationship. This is business. You're able to be polynomial, whatever it is. You're able to be multiple. You can have multiple friends, multiple business partners, multiple close associates. Are y'all with me? You don't have to have a limit, but you better love that one you got right there.
Hey, Erik, have you ever been a pallbearer?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody, I'm sure none of the women have, but any of the guys ever been a pallbearer? Imagine if none of the other people showed up to help you carry that casket. Just think about it. That's putting in perspective what you're saying. The team comes when you have a team, you don't have to do the heavy lifting.
You don't, Jock. I've been assigned a pallbearer funeral. I didn't know the person, really know the person who was there, and their pallbearers didn't show up. So we grabbed some guys, come on, and we all lifted. And we was all moving together as a team, not knowing the people. You know, the United States military does that, right? Mm-hmm. They put together similar, a highly trained, skilled force where they out there risking their lives with people they didn't even know.
And trusting the system.
Trusting in the system, man. You mean tell me I'm the guy from the city and I gotta go next to Billy Bob, who may not like me, may not like my race, may not like my group of people, but now me and Billy Bob has to unite. They found a way to unite people with a common goal, a common focus, a common enemy. Are y'all with me? With some great trainings? And some of us be worried about this person, that person. Come on, y'all. I'm trying to give y'all the secret. That's why you recruit. That's one of the costs of recruiting. Another cost is missed opportunities. Thank you, Troy, for the time. You may miss the opportunities. If you don't go recruit, there's some windows. Tony Burke just talked about, Eric, I'm hitting that Spanish community because I was working on my house and so forth, right? Think about that. That was an opportunity that I would have missed if I didn't recruit somebody. Think about it. I recruited a gentleman, Tim, who's a good friend of mine. Tim really never got a license, didn't do much. Tim recruited a young lady, said, Eric, you got to talk to Bishop Russell. Bishop Russell got started. Bishop Russell recruited a young lady, Deborah Coleman. Deborah Coleman said, let me get Tony Burke. Now, Tony Burke said, I'm going after the whole Spanish community. If I never recruited Tim, there would have been a missed opportunity for me in the Spanish community. Are y'all with me?
That was good.
Think about it. You saw Dr. Teresa come on and talk about her connections, right? With your dear. They can explode the Spanish community. But guess what? That started, she's part of Frank's organization, who I talked about earlier. And Frank are y'all with me? If he never recruited somebody who recruited David, who recruited Sadir, who recruited Nicole, who recruited Dr. Teresa, are y'all catching that? That would have been a whole opportunity, a population that would never even heard about experience and never even blessed them. Not just for you. That segment would never got the information. Missed opportunities. Number 4, decline the customer service. I'm telling you right now, I need some help. I keep saying I'm gonna call some of y'all. I gotta get on my way because sometimes my customers, your customers are your agents. Sometimes you can't service your agent. When you start, if you don't recruit, you can't service your agents or your clients. Are y'all with me? And lately, I've been bad customer service. So I'm gonna call myself out, right? Now she told me, I said, Eric, I need to talk to your brother. You've been so busy, right? So what it's saying to Eric, you know what? I need to recruit more. I gotta have some people help me service my clients for customer service. Here's another thing when you don't recruit. Here's a cost. It's your reputation. See, when it's just you, people gonna look around and start saying, well, how come ain't nobody else join you? You ever go to a food court and certain stores got people and certain stores don't have people? Do you go to the one where the line is short, or you want to go to the one where it look like people are there?
People are.
Yeah, because what are you saying? Oh, ain't nobody in here. I've been in restaurants. But me and Mary look around like, ain't nobody here. Like, do we want to? Maybe they know something we don't know, right? Maybe they know something we don't, so they leave. So when you come in and you recruit people, they look around, it's like, well, who's on your team? Nobody. You been here for 3 years, ain't nobody with you? They're like, well, what are you doing? Right or wrong? So here's the deal, though. I'm going to give y'all the game. Because the Xperia is growing, you got to leverage Xperia until you can leverage your own team. See, I come in and leverage Xperia until I can leverage my own team. And then I paint the vision of what we can do. Where you ain't got nobody on your team. You know what that means? That means I can service. That means we can grow together. You're trying to grow. You see what Xperia doing? You see what's happening in this industry? United States got over 1 million licensed agents. Do you want to get a piece of the pie? 102 million Americans are uninsured or underinsured. What part of 102 million do you need? And we're growing to other countries. So even if I don't have a team, I can leverage Xperia's team. Are y'all with me? So I'm hoping y'all catch what I just gave y'all. I gave y'all another masterclass on the freestyle on the cost of not recruiting. So my question to you is, everything has a cost. Life has a cost. There's an opportunity cost when you spend money. There's an opportunity cost when you don't do something. You got to constantly decide, and that's what makes the great ones, separates the greats from the average. The greats are able to understand and decide which ones they need to focus on. Because I'm spending my time recruiting, I got to take away time from Netflix, right? But if I'm watching Amazon Prime, watching movies on Amazon, then it's take away from my recruiting. The great ones are able. We all got the same 24 hours. The great ones are ready and able. So with that being said, Uncle Jock, take us to the recap.
Real quick, Eric, I wanted to put something in perspective real quick. How many people would you say in your agency, my agency, and probably Aurelio's agency came from a non-life insurance background?
I would say, Jock, we probably somewhere 80 to 85% non-life insurance background.
So it would be fair to say that we probably have a little more of a unique situation than most seasoned life insurance agents when it comes to bringing people into the fold of life insurance, right?
Absolutely. Very fair to say that.
And the reason I'm saying that, ladies and gentlemen, because of that dynamic, we have to understand the power of nurturing over here. The nurturing, it might take us a little longer to develop and turn people into superstars. But the long game, if you all have the patience and work on your leadership skills in nurturing your new recruit, keeping your hand on them, developing your leadership skills, it's going to pay off on the long run, because we're a little different than most other organizations and agencies inside of Experior. So I just wanted to kind of shine a spotlight on that particular dynamic, because we probably have to spend a little more time or a lot more time with our recruits than if we had 15, 20 years of experience. So I just want to
John, you know what? And I want to share something with that. And also but if from a recruiting standpoint, you're right, we got to spend more time, but from a recruiting standpoint too, I can recruit people and understand, hey, I was here. We started with zero. I didn't come grandfathered in. I didn't come with 20 years of experience, right? So I know what you're going through because I went through it, right? Majority of my team went through it, right? You went through it, Jock. Aurelio went through it. We got executive directors who went through it. I got Jock, myself, Judy Sheffield, Aurelio.
Soon to be Siobhan.
Soon to be Siobhan. You know, we all went through this and I'm not knocking people who have experience, but what I'm saying to you, Jock, is, yeah, man, we a little different. So when y'all look at this scoreboard, that's why I said something on the scoreboard, it's good to have a goal benchmark, a target, but also give yourself some leniency from where you are. But then also that doesn't allow you to sit on your butt and not do anything and make excuses. So you can't sit on your ass is not an asset if you ain't, you know what I mean? So you can't sit on your ass and don't do nothing, but at the same time, if you're doing something, give yourself some leniency this week, y'all. Give yourself some leniency. Y'all show up here every day. You should get off this call and celebrate. Nigga, I just came from a mastermind class. Y'all should be promoting that, pushing that on social media, screenshotting it. Y'all every day, and people should be, why did you go to a mastermind class every day? See, we got to celebrate this. Y'all are here. I leave out here saying, anytime, John, you've been on the call, we got the baddest group ever, and you use this as a recruiting tool. Tune in, plug into our morning calls, because it's a mastermind training. We give you all access to that. So with that being said, I'm going to be quiet, and Money, Doctor, were you finished with that, sir? Money, give us a recap.
Yeah, I remember I listened to the song by Nipsey when he was saying, all my life, been grinding all my life, took the price. They said pay the price, then a sacrifice, and that made me think of that. And then the other thing it made me think of, you can't know what's on your plate if you keep mixing that, looking at somebody else's. That's all I want to say, my smooth brother. And also, you want some jawbreakers?
Somebody broke my jaw already.
That was a message.
You can't know what's on your plate when you're always looking at somebody else. Who else? Anybody else got a recap?
I don't have a recap per se. I just wanted to say that I was thinking about you and Jock this morning, about how long I've known you guys, where you came from to where you are now. You were all I felt like you were masters of what you were doing then, but now this is a whole new ball game. You guys are doing something amazing, and I just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh,
You're not who you were 15 years ago. How old is Remy?
15.
You were good then, but you guys are phenomenal.
Thank you, Tawana. I appreciate it.
Oh, man, Tawana, you trying to make me cry. You know, this medicine, it will make me cry. I think that's one of the side effects. But thank you, Tawana. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Derek, talk to us, sir.
Definitely starting to feel like I'm falling into getting into that zone and also getting it done, meaning working in 6 to 8 legs right now, but doing it with purpose, right? Not just in there for flash, not up there just for scoreboard, but to build that foundation so we can move forward. But we got to keep growing, right? So I love it. We're able to get the VGOs in because one thing we've done is gotten better at getting people to get their name list together. And, when you tell people to put down 100 names, I have yet to meet that person. Even when I was in network marketing, I put down 70, right? Not with me stretching it. But nonetheless, something I got from Jimmy Martin was I just sit down with them and say, okay, I just did this yesterday. I said, you don't know anybody? Okay, let's go to the letter A in your phone. And let's pick 2 to 3 names. And he did it. I said, let's go to B, 2 to 3 names. Next thing you know, we had like 6 or 7 names down on a piece of paper already.
Wow.
And we just started going through it. But from that, we're able to invite to VGO. So we're refining that process. And like what Jacques was saying, I'm sitting back going, okay, what do I need to do? First time I raced through it, that's fine. I know I can recruit. I'm not worried about that part, but can we build? And that part right there, the confidence is shooting through the roof. Now I'm starting to see it and I'm loving it. So I'm loving the process. We're helping people get licensed, helping them get business, get paychecks. And I'm just excited about being one of the EDs on this team and having a sustainable business. That's what I'm looking for. So anyway, I'm excited, and thank you and Jacques and all the leadership, because this is not me and my magic. This is from learning, falling down, scraping the knee, getting back up, and not being afraid to get back up again. Saying, okay, we went through this one time. We know we can do what we already know what our strengths are. Let's work on some of the areas of improvement. And let's put the whole package together and do the daggone thing. So thank you.
I love it, Derek. Thank you. And you said something powerful. I want people to catch this. Recruiting is a process of building. See, so some people think you're recruiting and stops there. No, what you just said, Derek, I'm building my team. I'm helping them build, understand. I'm helping them go through the list. Because that's something inside of them. That wasn't inside of you. They had to overcome their barriers of, I don't know anybody. So you use some skill sets to help you build their confidence, you're building your team business now. So you recruit them, but now you still got to build your business, which goes with the training along the way. And that's one of the key pieces people think they miss. They think, Eric, y'all just recruit. No, we are building a team, because that's what we train every day. We here, and then the team is training every day. Y'all are out in the fields, taking the knowledge you already have and taking some new skills and collaborating, working together. Y'all are building a business. So don't feel bad. Recruiting is a part. Building is what the goal is, and that's what you're doing, Derek. Phenomenal job.
And Eric, did you get when he said, and I'm working with 6 to 8 legs?
Yes, sir. Oh, man.
That's building. That's brick by brick. You building and putting, and make sure you're shoring up those bricks. Brick
by brick, sir. Brother, they're going to get their training soon. Y'all going to see that training coming out. When that training hits, y'all better get it and get your teams on it. I'm telling you, I'm giving y'all some inside scoop. Mr. Erskine Edwards, talk to us all the way from California, IA.
Thank you so much for the training today, Coach. We appreciate you all. As always, you deliver. So what I got out of it today was the focus on recruiting. I think back when I always read the Richest Man in Babylon, because it speaks on, pre-Christ terms, and it's really simplified. And in that book, he was talking about how he was mentoring a young man. He had already left and came back. One time, the young man made a bad financial decision and gave money to I think it was a brick layer or something like that, to invest in jewels. So the second time he made better decisions with his money. So he wanted to live a little lavishly. So his mentor asked him, how are you doing right now? He said, well, I've been saving my coin and my coin is working for me. So now me and my wife are buying nice clothes and living lavish, eating nice food. And he said, foolish young man, you're eating the children of your money, so it just puts it in concept, with the recruiting. If you ensure yourself by making sure that the money that you're accumulating is also working for you, then you don't have to worry about it once you start spending. If you spend those children, then you lose that chance. It's the same concept with recruiting. If you don't recruit, then you don't have that extra income coming in. You have to do it all yourself, just like you said. Yeah. So it's like, do you want to be self-employed, or do you want to be a business owner? Because a business owner has a system that runs itself, and a self-employed person has to do everything on their own. So I'm sorry I took so much time, but that's what I
Man,
got.
I love it. That's my guy, Arcad, the richest man in Babylon. I got to go back to that book. I got to listen to it again, because that's another phenomenal book right there. It talks about the principles, and you laid it down so eloquently, Erskine, how you compare the money to your recruits. And I'm telling you, now he said just the same thing. Don't get the new recruit, and then don't help them and don't work with them, because that's just like burning through your money. So you build with that new recruit, as much as they're going to allow you to. Woo, the superstar herself, Miss Yadira. Talk to us. What's your recap today?
Thank you so much, Mr. Erik. Yes, well, what I got was that there are too many missed opportunities without recruiting, because what happens is that by building your team, you lighten your load. And one of the things that I love the best that you said is work, check. That was awesome. It's true. You work, check, and stay connected with your recruits. Be patient with them. You're working with someone and just they're developing. Also, do not waste your time on Netflix. We got to get up and do something. And if we want to change and we want something to change in our lives, we have to get up and do something. So that's what I got.
Woo! How many of y'all like that with Yadira on your team?
Yes.
Come on now. Woo! Love it. Dropping it. Anybody else? Rita?
I had one thing that I was thinking that was in my mind right now. Listen to somebody. That I used to always think when I was in the car business. I don't get frustrated. I get better. Meaning what it was, when you face a problem, and I keep saying it over again, identify the problem and then find a solution. That's a way of becoming better. That's become a master of yourself. Because when you become a master of yourself, you can always in a solution mindset. When you put yourself into a solution mindset, a problem is just like it's like a raindrop on your shoulder. You don't even bother no more.
I love it. I love it, Stephen. Man, you talking about raindrop on his shoulder? Remind me, like yesterday, might have to the dentist was putting the needle, and he started to poke with the needle, and the girl was like, yeah. Focus over here. And she was tapping me on my shoulder, and when she did that, it took my focus away from she found a solution to my problem with the needle going in my mouth, and she found a solution like, hey, focus over here. And I focus over here. Next thing you know, it wasn't a problem anymore. I was done before I could realize, like, man, girl, who are you? But she's like, don't worry about that, because now your problem is over. The needle's done. Your mouth is numb. Anyway, anybody else before we get the Rita Brown recap? All right, Rita, it's on you.
All right. I'm here. Add some fun and entertainment to your VGO. A rising tide raises all ships. If you have any Spanish-speaking prospects, invite them to the BTO tonight. The tracker is just like an accountability partner. Find ways to get in front of people. VGOs will grow your business. Stay with your new recruit. Talk to them almost every day for the first 30 days. Surrender to the process. Stop fighting yourself and the process. Complaining is your pathway to quitting. Collaborations are huge. It creates more synergy and energy. The effects of not recruiting. What is the cost when you don't do it? Number one, it increases the workload. All the workload is on you, and sometimes your income decreases. Number two, burnout. Work, then check. We have to grind before the check. It's the recruiting that allows you to get a check every week. Don't look up at the scoreboard. Keep your head down and run. The effects of not recruiting. Number three, missed opportunity. Number four, decline in customer service. And number five, reputation. When it's just you, people will wonder why no one has joined you. Xperia is growing. Leverage Xperia's team until you grow your own team. Everything has a cost. A cost if you do and a cost if you don't. Decide which one you're going to focus on. Do what you got to do and the check will follow. Biggest mistake we make It's not appreciating the one that showed up. Love who you got. Others will come. When you have a team, you do not have to do all the heavy lifting. Nurture your new recruit and develop your leadership skills at the same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Enjoy your day. I say, are y'all ready, experience? Say, how y'all feel?
Always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win at life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind.
These choices determine the difference between who you are and who you could be.
I never miss that fact, taking big swings, hand me the hat, put me in the ring to go out in a bag.
You have your own challenges, but you can make a decision. You can make money, we can make excuses.
You have to have the willpower to pull that power tool out that's inside of you and just go for it.
There's a lot of painful stuff that happened in my practice company. The reason why I grew up this much is because I learned a lot from them. The pain might be not my fault, but my healing is my responsibility.
It was a temporary pain for a lifetime of gain.
If you don't believe in you first, you can never ask someone else to believe in you as well. This is not a fake it till you make it, guys. Stop listening to that stuff.
My name, but they holding back. They want to say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't playing no games. I just do it.
We need a vehicle, the fastest vehicle that we could find in this industry, and that's what? Superior.
No matter what happens, I mean, easy. About to unpack all these things. There is always something to be great. Like them, he's after death to be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath. I'd rather lead than be led. I'll feel the seeds as they spread.
9.5 years ago, on January 22nd, 2014, a vision was born. A vision of freedom, a vision of righteousness, a vision of equality, a vision of becoming the best damn financial services company this world has ever seen. Your belief will build your endurance. You know how you say to someone, hey, let's build your list. What 3 people would you call in the middle of the night if you had a flat tire or something like that? How many people use that line? Okay, are you that person for your people? True greatness is shown through one's works and actions, the way in which you impact the lives of others. Greatness does not make excuses or shy away from failure. Greatness is hard, but folks, hard defines greatness. Continue to be great experience.
Did my past dictate my future? So listen, I'm not worried about your current track record. I'm worried about where you go. The past is in your head. The future is in your hands.
Oh wow, you made it this far. Awesome. That means you watched the entire video. I'm super happy to hear that, and I'm glad that you are serious about your future in this industry. Now, if you'd like to get more information, I'm going to encourage you to pick up this book, You Can't Fall Off the Floor. This is a book that I authored about 2 years ago now, but the stories are all the same. And I'll tell you what, it's basically a biography of Experior. You will learn absolutely all of the roots and some of the success stories of some 25 of our leaders in here. We also have it available in Spanish, so if you prefer that, and it's also on Audible, so you can listen to me talk through the whole book as well. If you are interested in moving forward at this time, or you have to get some more questions answered, talk to the person that sent you this video and make sure that you ask for an introduction to their executive director or their senior or national executive director so that you can get all of your questions answered.
All right, y'all. Have a great day.